The UConn Huskies are national champions once again.
I'm a champion again.
Back-to-back, that's unthinkable.
Back-to-back NCAA titles and celebrating an historic season.
Trying to wrap my mind around that level of performance again. 12 straight like that, incredible.
First time was good. Second time was way better.
The two-time defending national champs now about to get a big welcome home.
Way to celebrate with the guys. It dang near feel like I played on the team. I played football, but being associated with greatness is a great thing, man. I can't wait for them guys. I'm proud of them.
The Huskies touching down at Bradley Airport. And on their way to Storrs for a championship rally. Our live team coverage starts right now. Hello, and thanks for joining us for our special coverage of the national champions. How does that sound?
As an alum, it feels amazing. He's Dave Peck. I'm Mike Heideck. The UConn men's basketball team arriving in Storrs as we speak after clinching their second straight national title. The excitement has been building in campus all day long. The students started lining up at Gampel Pavilion this afternoon to be first inside and welcome them at the home championship rally.
This is a live look from Drone Ranger over Gampel, where the rally will be. Doors opened at 7:45.
Team finally touched down at Bradley Airport at 6:58. We were also joined by Bill Murray on the flight. The Huskies are now on campus getting ready for the big rally. We have live team coverage of their welcome home, the championship rally. It begins with NBC Connecticut's Jeremy Chen. He is outside Gampel. Jeremy.
Yeah, Mike, right now, literally the bus has just come out. You can see all the players right here live coming off the bus, coming back from Phoenix as back-to-back national champions. We have all the team players just coming out. We have a lot of support from all the players out here. As you can imagine, there's Donovan Clean with the trophy right there. Huge cheers just coming out of the team bus coming here. They're going to be heading inside Gampel for that rally, celebrating their national championship right over there. You can see just the excitement of all the people here, the students especially, all over here. More players coming out as we speak. Again, as national champions, they got their sunglasses on. Very suave, very cool, as they head inside Gampel Pavilion again for that rally, celebrating their back-to-back national championship. Now, you can just see all the cheerleaders over here. There's Samson Johnson right over there, played a big role in this tournament run. A lot of people just celebrating. Got the cheerleaders here. They were here at the watch party, giving all that energy over here. And again, all the players going inside Gampel, getting ready for that rally that's going to be happening very shortly to really rile up the crowd and let them know that they truly are back-to-back national champions. Live outside Gampel, Jeremy Chen, NBC Connecticut News. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
They got their sunglasses on. Like, this is not their first rodeo, right? I mean, they're doing it again. And they had a little extra time too to prepare whatever they're going to say, because they were sitting on a plane a little longer.
And as soon as we go live, sure enough, they get right off the bus, takes Jeremy's breath away. Matt is inside. Matt Austin continues our live team coverage inside Gampel. Matt, set the scene.
Yeah, so Mike and Dave, just so much energy in here. Folks are on the edge of their seats. There are a lot of eyes really pointed right over there where their doors are, where we are expecting that the team will be entering basically any moment now. There are hundreds of people that have filled kind of the lower and parts of the upper level here at Gampel Pavilion. Obviously, a lot of students who are here, but also a lot of community members who have come from all over to really welcome the team back. It has been, of course, quite a whirlwind for this team. You think we were here at Gampel just about 24 hours ago as the national championship game getting underway. Obviously, a lot of people had a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams for that team. And then, yes, to see that win, to see that national title, that sixth title, coming back to what, of course, is now being dubbed the basketball capital of the world is just such an incredible moment. We're just keeping an eye on that door. We do see a few more people coming in. I was talking to some folks here in the crowd. There's obviously some students here, a lot of students, should I say, and they have just so much energy and just so much love for this team. The whole campus today has just been buzzing. So many people bleeding blue. They've been buying shirts, wearing shirts just to support this team. I was also talking to some of the alumni. There was one man from Wethersfield. He has been to all 6 of these rallies, and he says they don't ever get old. And why should they, right? We love to see them here in Connecticut. So, of course, so much love and respect for them. In terms of kind of the layout here, of course, we have the pep band going. The cheer squad is here also. The stage is all set up there with the podium. Of course, we were expecting to hear from various members of the team, potentially maybe even Donovan Clingan. We know our own Gabriel Lisver was talking to him about 20 hours ago, right after the win on the court in Glendale, just about how much love he had for the team, for the coaches, and just what a powerhouse they were all season. Just the domination, but also the depth of the talent. How many of those players were able to get into those double digits, and just kind of what an extraordinary moment it was. And of course, we're also expecting to hear from Coach Dan Hurley. He was also talking last night, just kind of a little bit in shock about this back-to-back championship and just needs some time to process it, but it's been basically staying up all night into the early morning. And he was also talking or throwing out the word potentially a dynasty. Obviously, they had the championship from last year, from 2023, and now this year. But maybe is there a third? He seems to already be talking and throwing that out there. So he's already saying some expectations for future years. They've already been doing some, I guess, housekeeping, you might call it, here on the campus, getting things ready as they start to really celebrate this now 6th national title. They've already got the sign out on 84, if you ever passed by, saying all the different championships. They've already got that number fixed. They ticked it up to number 6 here. They've also been doing some work here to make sure some of the banners that, of course, they have all 5 going back to 1999, hanging proudly here in Gampel Pavilion. But now there needs to be a little bit more space for another one to get the 2024. Looks like they've already got it made, so maybe we'll be able to see some of that also. Again, any moment now we are expecting the team to be entering here to Gampel Pavilion to thank the fans here and to really kind of celebrate. Happily spent a little time when we talked to some of the folks who were able to get some autographs last time a year ago, so hopefully get to spend some one-on-one time with some of these faithful fans who have seen this team through this entire season. So a lot of energy, and again, we're expecting the team here in Gampel Pavilion for this welcome home rally any moment. Guys, back to you.
Hey, Matt, quick question. You were there last night as the campus exploded with joy after they won the national championship. I think the University of Connecticut needs to be lauded for how they controlled that crowd. There was nowhere near as much damage as there were after the celebration last year. When you came into campus, did you see evidence of any more windows broken or more light poles down like we saw last year? It seemed as if this year was much more contained.
It did. I think I noticed that even just last night, there was a much different feeling in the crowd. It was just really just a joyous celebration. You had thousands of people out there. And, last year, obviously, there were some issues. It was very much confined to a small group of people, but they did cause some sizable damage on the campus, including the vandalism as you were talking to the light poles and to some of the classes out there. But, what we saw this year was remarkably different. Not just from the students. I thought that there was just a much more just kind of joyous feeling. A lot of them were just out there. They were smiling, just kind of really just celebrating this moment, which is pretty extraordinary when you think about these back-to-back championships. But there was also a little bit more of a heavier police presence. A year ago, it seemed as if there were not a lot of police right outside of Gampel, and this year there was at least kind of a light appearance, I would call it. It didn't seem very heavy-handed to begin with. But I think it just helped to kind of calm the crowd down a little bit so things did not spiral as quickly. And when there were small issues that popped up in terms of people starting to shake light poles and things like that, the authorities really stepped in fairly quickly to make sure that was stopped. And that seemed to help the crowd a little bit. We did hear about some issues, including a handful of arrests overnight and also some limited damage, including to a window that was broken, but kind of the kind of greater extent of the damage seems to have been avoided, thankfully, this time. And it really did turn into more of just a celebration. And the campus today, when you're going around it, there were no signs of any of the problems or even kind of the trash that you would expect after a big party like that or a big celebration. And really the light poles were back, and the campus was really alive. Right side of Gampel, they had a tent that had been set up to sell merchandise, and people were just lining up either to that, or if you wanted to stop people today and talk to them about the team, it was so easy because everyone had so much pride in this team. And really, we should say not just in this team, the men's team, but also a shout out to the women's team. Obviously, they lost in the Final Four, but there was just so much just pride in terms of what they were able to accomplish. I mean, obviously, their season was marked with a lot of injuries, but, some of those players were able to step up and, had an extraordinary run, and that should also be thought of today as we all gather here to welcome the men back. And as that crowd gathers by, one of the doors here at Gampel, we are expecting the team to come in at any moment now and be able to, take to the stage and thank some of these faithful fans who have been supporting them not just all season, but going back really decades. And, and Dan Hurley was speaking to that, that this is just, when you talk about UConn and basketball, these have been going together for really decades. I mean, the championships have been going back, 20, 25 years or so. So it's really an extraordinary moment for everybody here to come together and to celebrate. And then you also have to start thinking about Saturday. Obviously, the party does not stop today. It just moves down to Hartford, where there'll be the parade through downtown Hartford kicking off. And then, of course, the big rally outside the Excel Center, where you can imagine that there will be even more people than we see here who will be coming out to be able to really just show their support for this team from all across the state. Guys?
Paul's just talking to fans, being at the watch party at Gampel last night, obviously being there right now. Have you gotten a sense from the students that they understand the gravity? Has it sunk in, the fact that they did it back to back, or are they just kind of going ballistic like they did last year, like back to back? I mean, it just doesn't happen that often. Winning at UConn seems routine, but it's just incredible.
It does. I think there is a mixture of just the students are just obviously incredibly excited for what the teams have accomplished this year, but I think also some of them do have that perspective of kind of knowing. And
looks like it's about to get underway. Matt Bill Murray just walked in behind you there, and that means the team is on Luke Murray, Dan Hurley, and the UConn Huskies, back-to-back national champions, about to enter Gampel Pavilion from the tunnel there. Let's listen in. Yeah. Okay, we thought it sounded like the hype man was getting ready to get him in, but
they do. They had a lot of, the last 24 hours. Geez, tired, the plane ride, a lot of, media obligations. They've been doing, getting across country like this.
And I would say the fan base is probably pretty tired too. They don't seem nearly as amped up as they did last night. So you're watching everybody right now sit in their seats in Gampel. So they're a little bit tired after staying up all night, having a good time too. So the interesting thing, right? So last year, you and I, we covered this rally. Dan Hurley stood in the back of the podium. All the players, Adama Sanogo, the others, Hawkins, they all came up. They talked to the crowd for a brief moment. Since last year, though, Dan Hurley has been a media darling. He was on the Today Show this morning, for goodness sake. He's comfortable in front of a microphone now. It's going to be interesting if he takes the stage or stands back.
He had his eyes like halfway open. Looks like there's a little bit of action now coming out of the tunnel. Can't tell if those are fans still. But, I mean, it kind of depends what Dan Hurley you're going to get. Is it going to be the reserved one, or is he going to say something and then look to his right and say, should I have said that? I don't really know. But, I mean, anytime he opens his mouth, it's usually something interesting, whether it's post-game, pre-game, win, loss. Obviously, this is the pinnacle. So he's had some extra time to think, too, about what he wants to say.
Maybe a little sleep on the plane. The other thing that was great that he told Gabrielle Lucevero, I'm not going to Kentucky. I can't move my wife any farther away from New Jersey or I'm getting divorced. He's getting a raise. He has an incentive bonus coming through, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep him in Connecticut, which is what we need. He's already talking about three-peat.
Yep.
I thought he was a little bit braggadocious last year, talking we're going to run it back. He proved it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, when they were saying it at the beginning of the year, I was at Big East Media Day, and you hear him say that, and you're like, okay, like, what else are they going to say? But you lost Adama Sanogo, you lost Jordan Hawkins, you lost Andre Jackson Jr., and so how are they going to do it? Like, they were picked to finish third in the Big East.
In the Big East.
This year.
Yeah.
They picked to finish third. And so the fact that they were obviously able to get that Big East title and then make the run again, the way they've done it too, 12 straight wins by more than 13 points. It's unbelievable.
And one of the things that I find incredibly interesting, because we know there's a seismic shift in college basketball now with NIL and the portal, Dan Hurley is the perfect bridge to old school coaching and new school thinking.
Yeah.
Because he got the old school coaching from his father, the 26-time state champion in New Jersey City, New Jersey. But he also reaches out to the social media generation. He is able to work that portal, which he says he's sick of right now, by the way, and try to get people to transfer and come in. He replenished a majority of the players on the court, and they ended repeat. So he's got his work ahead of him, but he knows what to do.
This is a guy who had a vision, right? And you listen to some of the conversations, the stories he tells about leaving URI. And the first couple of days he was saying he didn't necessarily know if he wanted to be at UConn. That's what he was telling Jim Calhoun. And Jim Calhoun, had some choice words for him. Obviously it worked out, but this is a guy who had a vision of what he wanted, the kind of players he wanted, not just for the first championship, but also bringing guys like Cam Spencer, going out and finding that fiery player who can kind of emulate what he does in the coaching box on the court.
And the best is when they won the championship and there was 36 seconds left, Cam Spencer nearly knocks over Dan Hurley with a chest bump, and they're yelling at each other. It was like testosterone overload, but it's exactly the feeling you felt as a UConn fan to just watch the players explode because they worked so hard to achieve this.
Yeah, and then, Donovan Clingan, obviously the game he had, and the matchup with Zach Edey, they maybe had the player, right? He scored 37 points.
Yeah.
And you listen to him talk after the game, that was the game plan. Make him score 70, just take everyone out. Looks like we got some action here now.
Looks like we're having the players come out here and listen in.
Basketball capital of the world. For tonight's celebration of your 2024 men's basketball national champions, the UConn Huskies. The 2023-24 Huskies brought home the 6th NCAA men's basketball championship in school history, becoming just the 3rd program since 1973 to win back-to-back national titles and the first overall #1 seed to win since 2013. And they did so in historically dominant fashion, setting the NCAA tournament record, winning by a combined 140 points in their 6 tournament wins. Let's hear it for your 2024 men's basketball national champions, the UConn Huskies. At this time, I'd like to introduce the individuals who are joining us on stage. Chairman of the UConn Board of Trustees, Dan Toscano. And the Director of Athletics, David Benedict. It's time to welcome home the champs. Please join me in greeting the 2024 NCAA champions as they take the stage back home at Gampel. A sophomore from Bristol, Connecticut, number 40, Andre Johnson Jr. A freshman from Bamako, Mali, number 24, Youssef Singare. A sophomore from Xanthi, Greece, number 33, Apostolos Roumaglu. A freshman from Leesburg, Virginia, number 1, Solomon Ball. A freshman from Bristol, Virginia, number 23, Jaden Ross. A senior from Glastonbury, Connecticut, number 20, Andrew Hurley. A freshman from Seattle, Washington, number 3,
Jalen Stewart. A senior from Queens, New York, number 10, Hassan Diarra. A junior from Lome, Togo, number 35, Samson Johnson. A freshman from Covington, Georgia, number 5, Stefan Castle. A graduate student from Davidsonville, Maryland, number 12, Cam Spencer. A redshirt sophomore from Southborough, Massachusetts, number 11, Alex Caravan. A sophomore from Bristol, Connecticut, number 32, Donovan Clingan. And finally, a graduate student from El Paso, Texas, number 2, Tristan Newton. And now let's meet the coaching staff. Assistant coach, Tom Moore. Assistant coach, Luke Murray. And the head coach of the Huskies, Dan Hurley. At this time, please direct your attention to the Gampel Pavilion video boards to take a look at this historic run of some of the highlights of this UConn Huskies National Championship.
The UConn Huskies are going back to the Final Four to defend their title. Arizona, Alabama, and UConn. It is the national semifinals. The magic of March has led us to this stage. From Glendale, Arizona, this is the national championship game. Tonight, Purdue and UConn, the Boilermakers, playing for the title for the first time in 55 years. The Huskies try to go back-to-back to make history. Now, 40 minutes of basketball will decide the national championship. Heavyweights to jump it up. Purdue controls the table. It keeps going well.
It's time now to hear from some of the Huskies who brought back championship number 6 here to Storrs. Please welcome to the podium, back-to-back national champion, number 11, Alex Caravan.
Husky Nation, we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being there with us the entire season. Back to back. That shit's the standard now. Winning those banners now. That's all we got to do. So, thank you guys. And let's get more rings.
And now, let's welcome our Connecticut kid, also a back-to-back national champion, the pride of Bristol, number 32, Donovan Klingon.
Husky Nation, what do you say? Back to back, let's go. We appreciate you guys supporting us the whole season. You guys are a big part of our success. UConn has a big standard now, and that's winning championships, and we're going to continue to do that. Let's go Huskies.
It's time to now hear from the Naismith College Coach of the Year, the Big East Coach of the Year, and the head coach of your national champion UConn Huskies for 2 straight years, Dan Hurley.
2 in a row. 2 in a row. Where's little Joe? Where's little Joe? Where's Joey? Where's Poker Joe? We don't know where he is. Where is he? Yeah, let's go. Hey, how about this team, huh? How about this team? This group got together we got together in June. Like a lot of you guys weren't here on campus. It was just a couple of the sports teams, and we started working in June real hard for this. And this group gave absolutely everything they had, right, to accomplish our goals. You saw it on T-shirts, you saw it on bands. These guys gave absolutely everything they had to go, and then we just won absolutely everything. We won everything. Big East regular season, Big East tournament. We won the East region, and then we went and got you your 6th national championship. Went back to back like we talked about. All right. And we just haven't thought of any shit to say for number 7. So we'll just leave it at that. We appreciate you. We got the best fans in the country, basketball capital of the world, Storrs, Connecticut. Let's go. This is what I'm saying though about the run-up show. What are you saying right now, Bobby? Oh, hey, I want to. Hey, so I didn't understand the run of the show. There's coaches. Hey, listen, we have some of these. We got some players up on stage here. Their legacy is like literally, they're amongst the greatest players to ever play in a UConn uniform, right? They've done things at UConn that have never been done before, on the men's side here. So I think the most fitting thing and one of the greatest honors for one of the greatest UConn Huskies to ever put the uniform on, Mr. Tristan Newton, all right, is up. Husky of honor up top here. Let's hear it for Team U. Immortal, baby. Immortal, baby!
Let's hear now from our newest Husky of Honor, joining the legends of this great program, number 2, Tristan Newton.
I just want to come up here and say, thank you for all your support, efforts that you guys have, did for us all season. Without you guys being that guy number 6, and thank you for everything.
Fans, let's hear it one more time for your 2024 Men's Basketball National Champions.
Hold on, everybody wants to hear from Killer Cam. Killer Cam.
From all of us, we want to thank you guys for all your support. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And to accomplish a championship with your brothers that you go to war with is really special. So, I'll be a Husky for life, and just want to say thank you from all of us.
Let's hear it one more time for your 2024 Men's Basketball National Champions, the UConn Huskies. Thank you for attending our national championship celebration and for your support of our UConn Huskies all season long.
Okay, so head coach Dan Hurley commandeering the show there. They're getting ready to wrap up. And he said, you got to hear from Cam Newton, which is special. He meant so much to the team, so much energy, so much fire. And it's his last year. This is the last time we're going to see him in a Husky uniform.
Yeah, and obviously Tristan Newton getting, put up on the wall there.
The Husky Ring of Honor, so to speak.
Honor, just, it doesn't mean his number is retired, but just what he was able to do in 2 years here, 2 national championships. He's really a guy that on any other team where they highlight a superstar, he can go for 25, 30, but they play as a team, and, he's that guy.
And a man of few words, as you know.
Yes.
He's like, thank you, good night. He's so smooth. He's so quiet. He knows the floor. He has beautiful vision. He's where he's supposed to be at all times. That's why he's able to come up with 20 points and the assists and the rebounds. He's just phenomenal. This is an amazing team. So many people. Same story about Stephon Castle, right? Incredible freshman. The NBA has been salivating over him, according to Hurley, at the practices earlier in the season. Same thing. He's playing in a team, so he couldn't show off nearly as much as his skill set can apparently display. So it's going to be interesting when if he goes to the NBA.
Yeah, and the other thing is you always hear Dan Hurley talking about the team, but he takes care of his guys too. He'll say, we have 2 top 10 draft picks here, and he's talking about Clinton, he's talking about Newton, and he'll really prop his guys up to the media, to whoever's interviewing him, so that starts to, hit in the minds and stay in the minds of some of the NBA scouts and stuff. So he takes care of the team, and that's how they operate. But then he gives it back to the guys that he wants to see have success.
He does a little PR for them out there. Get the scouts going for him. Yeah. The interesting thing, right? So we're going to lose a lot of players. We have grad students. We have people that are done with eligibility. Yep. Donovan Clingan could go to the NBA. Castle could go to the NBA. Can they run it back? Can they make the portal work for them once again? Are they going to convince transfers like Newton? 3 years at East Carolina in the woods. Comes here, becomes one of the best Huskies of all time. He's going to have to create that magic again if they want to run it back for a third time.
I think that's why just Dan Hurley is so impressive, because he handpicks his guys, right? I mean, every coach handpicks their guys, but he hit some right on the head. I mean, he gets Tristan Newton. He sees Cam Spencer, a guy who started at Loyola and then went to Rutgers, and he says, I want you. You're exactly the guy. If you come to our team, we will be back-to-back. If you don't, we're going to be 10 or 15 team in the country. Yeah. So he knows what he wants. And it's been a process that, started back when he was at Wagner, before that URI.
Right.
And now here. And so if there's a guy who can do it and reload and try and get number 3 to really solidify the dynasty, it's Dan Hurley.
And it's all about culture. For a second straight year, too, there's going to be a big parade for the UConn men. It kicks off Saturday morning, 11 a.m. at the Capitol in Hartford, goes down Trinity Street through the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch, then on to Jewel, then it goes down to Trumbull, then it ends at the intersection of Trumbull and Asylum.
There's a rally after the parade outside the XL Center, entrance on Trumbull Street. Once again, no state or city funding is being used, so if you'd like to donate to the parade, reach out to the Hartford Business Improvement District.
And that's it for our back-to-back chance special. We'll see you on Saturday with live coverage of the parade and the rally. For Dave Peck, I'm Mike Heidick. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you on the news at 11.